Okay. Oh, careful, please. Please be careful. Yeah, don't mock me. Be careful. Okay, these things are very delicate. Good evening, everyone. He has had 5 donuts tonight, so he's got a little bit of energy, a little bit of donut on his lip. Can I have that donut? I'm gonna get it. It's gonna happen. So, if he's running amok, that's why. So, we're gonna continue with our Christmas stories, and then we're gonna read this book, Arthur's Christmas, which we haven't actually read before. And he got this from his teacher last year for, I think, Christmas. She gave some books out to the kids, and I think this was one of them. And I don't know why we haven't read it yet, because we just haven't gotten around to it. We have a lot of books. So, Arthur's Christmas by Mark Brown. I don't know anything about Arthur. You never wanted to watch it when you were little. So, I don't know these characters. Arthur and D.W. had been in the drugstore a long time. For heaven's sake, D.W. said, the store is full of presents. Pick one and let's go. It has to be just right, said Arthur. I want Santa to like it. Well, hurry up, said D.W. I want to get home and see if Grandma's there and how many presents she brought me. At home, D.W. added 10 more things she wanted to her Christmas list and copied it over in red pencil. Arthur and D.W. cheered when they heard the car in the driveway. Grandma, are there presents in there for me? Asked D.W. Grandma, do you think Santa would like new mittens or gloves? Asked Arthur. Whatever happened to hello, I'm glad to see you? Asked Grandma Thora. After dinner, everyone relaxed. Look, said D.W. I teach Killer a trick. Taught, said Grandma. You taught Killer a trick. But D.W. didn't hear. She had seen something on television to add to her list. Arthur, what's the matter? Asked Grandma. I haven't found the right gift for Santa, said Arthur. Only 2 shopping days left, reminded D.W. The next day, Arthur, D.W., and their friends went shopping. Killer went too. Arthur searched the entire store and still couldn't find the perfect gift for Santa. What's the big problem? Asked D.W. I can see 100 things I want. Let's go tell Santa. Santa, what would you like for Christmas? Asked Arthur. Ho, 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 laughed Santa. You just leave the giving to me. D.W. had her picture taken, patting Santa's tummy. Buster was next. Santa, be careful coming down the chimney at our house. My parents always forget to put out the fire. Ho, 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 said Santa. Don't worry. I'll use the front door. Why is Santa a human and all of them are animals? I don't understand. Then it was Francine's turn. Have you been a good little girl? Asked Santa. Oh, yes, smiled Francine. I'm always good. Always? Asked Santa.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Afterward, Buster treated them all to ice cream. Arthur hurriedly finished his root beer float. He had only one more shopping day. Look, said Francine, Santa eats ice cream. I'll have a banana split with 6 scoops of bubblegum ice cream, said Santa, with double hot fudge, whipped cream, and nuts. I'll say he eats ice cream, said D.W.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6.
There's a flavor called Batwing and a flavor called Pizza Ripple. Boy. At home, Arthur asked his father for help. How about a nice colorful tie, said his father. Aftershave is always a good gift, said Mother. I bet Santa could use some toasty warm long johns, said Grandma.
9, 8,
Arthur, you're taking this shopping too seriously, said DW. What would I do? Get everyone the same thing. That afternoon, everyone was getting ready for the carol to go caroling. But Arthur didn't have time for Christmas carols. Time was running out. Please come along, begged DW. I'll be the only kid, and besides, Mrs. Tibble always gives us a present and hot chocolate. Arthur went window shopping instead, hoping that would give him an idea for Santa's present. Santa was ho-ho-hoing and drinking a diet root beer at the car wash. Moments later, Santa was at the Golden Chopstick eating some subgum chow goo. What? Santa must have run to the deli at the corner of North and Main. The waitress shouted Santa's order to the cook. Catch a fish, hit it with rye, and put a pair of shoes on it. Santa sure eats a lot, thought Arthur. Finally, Arthur went home. He hadn't seen a single thing in any of the store windows he thought Santa would like. Santa was on TV eating Papa Piper's pickled peppers. That's it, said Arthur. Started making his list. Arthur counted his money. DW, he said in his sweetest voice. Okay, how much do you need? Asked DW. But only if you promise to stop being such a grouch. The next morning, Arthur gave DW half of his list. He took the other half.
10, 9, 8,
DW had to keep Killer out of the kitchen while Arthur made Santa's present. What's all that noise? Asked Father. Arthur's making a mess, reported DW. The kitchen door opened and Arthur squeezed. Well, how many cups of pepper and pickled peppers? He asked. Maybe I should help, said Mother. No, please, said Arthur. I want to make Santa's present myself. Just tell me how many sticks of gum and subgum chow goo. Poor Santa, said DW. Hours later, Arthur whistled while he set the table for Santa. What's that? Asked Father. Pickled peppers, a hot fudge sundae on bubblegum ice cream, and subgum chow goo. I sort of combined Santa's favorite foods, Arthur explained.
5, 4,
What's that big lumpy thing that's moving? Asked Grandma. A pizza to go, said Arthur, with everything on it. If you want Santa to come, you'd better go to bed, said Mother. If we want Santa to come, thought DW, we better do something about that food. DW couldn't fall asleep. I have to do something, she thought. Poor Arthur worked so hard. But if Santa gets one whiff of Arthur's present, he'll never set foot in the dining room, much less eat any of it. Careful to miss the squeaky step, DW tiptoed downstairs in the dark.
5, 4,
The next morning, Arthur was the first one up. Santa ate it all, he cried, and he left a note.
0,
Dear Arthur, you were so nice to take the time to find out my favorite foods and make them. Thank you. You also taught me about this Christmas spirit. Love, Santa. P.S. Aren't you lucky to have such a nice little sister? Wonder who did that.
9, 8,
What?
7, 6, 5,
Can I get the piece of donut off your lip? There we go.
8.
All right, so in our Christmas stories book, we're at the presents and parties section. Katie and Clover's Christmas, an extract from What Katie Did at School by Susan Coolidge. It is Christmas Eve, and Katie, Clover, and their friend Red Rose are at a boarding school run by the strict Mrs. Nipson. The girls stay at school for Christmas, and though they are all hoping their parents have sent them boxes full of Christmas presents, nothing has arrived. This isn't much like Merry Christmas, sighed Clover to herself as she looked up at the window and saw great snowflakes wildly whirling by. At this moment, Mrs. Nipson came in. Miss Carr, come here for a moment, if you please. Clover, wondering, followed her. A parcel has arrived for you, in a box, said Mrs. Nipson. I will have the nails removed and both of them placed in your room, but I expect you to refrain from examining them until tomorrow. Very well, ma'am, said Clover. Study hours seemed unusually long that night. The minute it was over, the sisters ran to number two. There stood the boxes, a big wooden one and a small paper one. It was almost more than the girls could do to obey orders and not peep. I feel something hard, announced Clover, inserting a finger under the lid. Oh, do you? Cried Katie. Then, making a heroic effort, she jumped into the bed. It's the only way, she said. Let's get to sleep as fast as we can, so as to make morning come quicker. Katie dreamed of home that night. Perhaps it was that which made her wake so early. It was not 5 o'clock, and the room was dark. She lay perfectly still for hours, as it seemed. Then she could wait no longer, but crept out of bed, and raising the lid, put in her hand. Something crumbly and sugary met it, and there, fitting on her finger like a ring, was a round cake with a hole. Oh, it's one of Debbie's jumblies. Where? What? Give me one too, cried Clover. The two lay nibbling the jumblies and talking about home till morning. Breakfast was half an hour later than usual, which was comfortable. As soon as it was over, the girls proceeded to unpack their box. The day was so cool that they wrapped themselves in shawls, and Clover put on a hood and thick gloves. Rose Red, passing the door, recommended that she add an umbrella. Come in, cried the sisters, and help us open our box. Oh, by the way, you have a box, haven't you? Said Rose, who was perfectly aware of the important fact, and had presented herself with the hope of being asked to look on. Thank you, but perhaps I shall be in your way. You humbug, said Clover. You know you came on purpose. Did I? Well, perhaps I did, laughed Rose. Then Kitty lifted off the lid. My throat's so dry. Just look here, she said. The top of the box was mostly taken up with four square paper boxes, round which parcels of all shapes and sizes were wedged. One was the jumblies, another of ginger snaps, a third of crullers, and the fourth contained a big loaf of frosted plum cake. I never imagined anything so nice, declared Rose, their mouth full of jumble. As for those snaps, they're simply perfect. What can be in those fascinating bundles? Do hurry and open one, Katie. Dear little Elsie. The first two bundles opened were hers, a white hood for Katie and a blue one for Clover, both of her own knitting. The girls were enchanted. They tried them on and spent so much time in admiring them that Rose grew impatient. I declare, she cried, it isn't any of my funeral, I know, but if you don't open another parcel soon, I shall certainly fall to myself. Very well, said Katie, laying aside her hood with one final glance. Take out a bundle, Clover. It's your turn. What fun it was opening those bundles. The girls made a long business of it, taking out but one at a time, exclaiming, admiring, and exhibiting to Rose before they began upon another. They laughed, they joked, but I do not think it would have taken much to make either of them cry. Each separate article seemed full of the very look and feel of home. What can this be? Said Katie, as she unrolled a paper and disclosed a pretty round box. She opened it and gave a cry. Oh, Clovey, such a lovely thing. It's from Papa. Of course it's from Papa. The lovely thing was a long, slender chain for Katie's watch, worked in fine yellow gold. Clover's joy knew no bounds when further search revealed another box with a precisely similar chain for herself. There never was such a Papa in the world, they said. Yes, there is. Mine is just as good, declared Rose. I never saw such pretty chains in my life. Never. Katie, I'm dying to know what is in the blue parcel. The blue parcel contained a pretty blue ribbon for Clover. There was a pink one also, with a pink ribbon for Katie. Everybody had thought of the girls. Old Mary sent them each a yard measure, and Miss Finch a thread case stocked with differently colored cottons. Hey, Alistair. Alexandra cracked a bag full of hickory nuts. Never was such a wonderful box. It appeared to have no bottom whatever. Under the presents were parcels of figs, prunes, almonds, raisins, candy, and under those, apples and pears. There seemed no end to the surprises. At last all were out. Now, said Katie, I want you to help divide the other things and make some packages for the girls. They are all disappointed not to have their boxes. I should like to have them share ours. Wouldn't you, Clover? Yes, I was just going to propose it. So Clover, Rose, and Katie sorted ginger snaps and almonds and sugar plums, and soon a gladsome crunching showed that the girls had found pleasant employment. None of the snowed up boxes got through till Monday, so except for Katie and Clover, school would have had no Christmas treat at all. The Cars box was always quoted as an example of what papas and mamas could achieve when they were of the right sort and wanted to make schoolgirls happy. Distributing their treasures kept Katie and Clover so busy that it was not until after dinner that they found time to open the smaller box. When they did so, they were sorry for the delay. The box was full of flowers, roses, red geranium leaves, and white carnations. Cousin Helen had sent them, and underneath, sewed to the box, that they might not shake about and do mischief, were two flat parcels, wrapped in tissue paper. They were glove cases of quilted silk, delicately scented, one white and one lilac, and to each was pinned a note wishing the girls a Merry Christmas. How awfully good people are, said Clover. I do think we ought to be the best girls in the world. The Christmas Party by Frances Elizabeth Barrow. Mr. and Mrs. Percy had 7 grandchildren: Mary, Carrie, Thomas, Willie, Bella, Fanny, and finally Sarah. She was the youngest of the children, and they all loved her very much. The children and their parents had been invited to eat Christmas dinner with their grandma. They were glad, for they liked to go to their grandma's very much. Golly. At last Christmas Day came. It was a bright, frosty day. The icicles that hung from the iron railings sparkled as the sun shone upon them, and everybody looked very happy indeed. The children all got to their grandma's very nearly at the same time. The first thing they did was to run up to their grandma and wish her a Merry Christmas and kiss her. Then they did the same to their grandpa. Then they all hugged and kissed each other and jumped about so much that some kissed noses and some kissed chins, and little Sarah was almost crazy with delight. Soon the bell rang for dinner. It was now quite dark, and the chandelier that hung over the table was lit. The tablecloth was so white and fine that it looked like satin. Would you like to know what they had for dinner? Well, I will tell you. First, they had some very nice soup. The children did not care for soup. Then they had some roast beef and a turkey. The children all took turkey. Then came something that was quite astonishing. What do you think it was? It was a great plum pudding on the fire. All on fire. It blazed away terribly, and Willie thought they had better send for the fire engines to put it out. But it was blown out easily, and the children each had a very small piece. Very soon they got up and went upstairs to the parlor. But what was in the middle of the room? It seemed to be a large table covered all over with a cloth. What could it be? Well, he said, Grandma, the table looks as if something was on it. And little Sarah said, Grandma, I guess Santa Claus has been here. Whale? Yeah? W. Whale. That's true. W does start whale. I be good. Silly boy. Yes, dear children, said their grandma. Santa Claus has been here. And this time he looked very much like your grandpa. He'll be up soon. And then we will see what is on the table. Oh, how the children did wish to peep. They could not look at anything else. They danced and jumped around the table and were in a great hurry for their grandpa. In a few minutes, he came into the room and went to the table and took off the cloth. The table was covered with beautiful things. Remember, it was something that looked like a little red brick house. Well, said their kind grandpa, my dear children, you may go up to the table and see if you can find out who they are for. The children gathered round the table, and Willie took from the top a fine book with all their sails set. His eyes sparkled when he saw written on the slip of paper which lay on the deck these words, "For my dear Willie." The children clapped their hands, and nothing was heard but "How beautiful!" "It is a ship of war," said Billy. "Only look at the little brass guns on her deck." "Thank you, dear Grandpa." "What is the name of my ship?" "Her name is painted on her stern," said his grandpa. Willie looked and saw that she was called the Louisa. The other children laughed, for Willie knew a very pretty little girl whose name was Louisa, and he liked her very much. After they all admired the boat, they went back to the table, and there were two beautiful picture books, one for Bella and one for Mary. Next to these was a large doll for Carrie and another for Fanny. Carrie's doll was dressed in blue satin with a white satin hat, and Fanny's doll was dressed in pink satin with a black velvet hat and feathers. They hugged their dolls to their little breasts, and then ran to hug and kiss their grandpa. Carrie said, "My dolly's name shall be Rose," and Fanny said, "My dolly's name shall be Christmas, because I got her on Christmas Day." Well, I must hurry and tell you the rest, for I'm afraid my story is getting too long. Thomas found for him a splendid zoo, and all the animals made noises like real animals. There were roaring lions, and yelling tigers, and laughing hyenas, and chattering monkeys, and growling bears, and many other wild beasts. Oh, how pleased Thomas was, and all the children. Little Sarah did nothing but jump up and down and say, "So many things! I never saw so many things!" But who was to have the little house up the table, I wondered? There was a little piece of paper sticking out of the chimney, and Sarah pulled it out and carried it to her grandpa. He took her up in his arms and read it to her. It says, "A little house for my little darling Sarah." "It is for me," said the little girl. "My name is Sarah, and it must be for me." Her grandpa drew the little house out and opened it. The whole front of the house opened, and there were two rooms. One was a parlor and one was a bedroom. The children all cried out, "Look at the table, the red velvet chairs, and the elegant curtains. Oh, how beautiful it is!" Little Sarah did not say a word. She jumped up and down, her eyes shining like diamonds. She was too much pleased to speak. At last she said, "There is a young lady sitting in the chair with a red sash on. I think she wants to come out." "You may take her out," said her grandpa. So Sarah took the young lady out, and then took up the chairs and sofa one by one, smoothed the velvet, and looked at the little clock on the mantelpiece, and opened the little drawers of the bureau, and then she began to jump again. There was never such a happy party before. The children hardly wished to dance. They were so busy looking at their presents. But after a little while, they had a very nice dance. It was now quite late, and little Sarah had fallen fast asleep on the sofa, with the young lady out of the little house fast asleep. So they wrapped her up, doll and all, in a great shawl, and the rest put on their nice warm coats. And after a great deal of hugging and kissing, they went home happy and delighted. So ended this joyful Christmas day. And that is about 20 minutes. Okay? Yep. All right, what you do? You ready to get some sleep? Or at least stay in bed? Can't imagine you'll go to sleep right away. All right, my dear. Hi, puppy. I'll let you out just a minute, okay? We'll do our bedtime routine. I know. Wait. Oh, let me get it. Computer. Okay. All right, guys. Well, that was good story time. I'm going to see if I can quiet him down a bit. He's got a bunch of electronics going on over there, as you can hear. But we will see you all tomorrow. All right? Good night.